Okay, we are recording. So, like I said, sorry, I got a distracting text. So we just wrapped up our new distributor training. It was amazing. We're so excited for all of our newbies. I did want to give you guys a little bit of a shout out because we enrolled as a team over 150 brand new distributors to our amazing family. And I am just so proud of you guys and so excited for them because I haven't had a chance, obviously, yet to introduce myself to all of them other than like a blanketed like, hi, welcome to the team. But I can already see that so many of them have a fire and are just so ready to make this work. Like, there's so many new distributors on this team that have already signed loyal customers and they're only a couple days in. And that's what we're here for, right? So I am just super excited for this whole team in general and what we are going to accomplish this like last, I guess, half of the year, a little less than half. And I'm just really proud of you guys. So I wanted to make sure that I shouted you out because I'm seeing big things and I'm really excited for what's to come. So tonight I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a fun topic that I have recently learned in a book that I have read. And it is a book called High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard, I think is how you say his last name. I originally heard him on a podcast by Ed Milet. If someone wants to put that in the chats, Ed Milet, that podcast is absolutely incredible. He's always bringing on super influential people onto his podcast, and I'm literally blown away. I've never listened to an Ed Milet that I've been like, well, that did nothing for me. I always get super fired up. I know that Rochelle and Brian listen to an Ed Milet podcast or whatever literally every single morning. It's like how they rise, how they drink their coffee and they watch Ed. So definitely something to look into if you're looking for a new podcast or some new inspiration or a new way to get fired up. But Brendon Burchard was on there, and basically he has done 20 years of what does he call it? Like 20 years of research, and 10 years of that he's done like actual studies, meaning hard evidence between him and people that he has been working with about high performance habits. And so this book like really stuck out to me because of the podcast and the things that he mentioned. So I was like, I got to look into this. I got to see what's going on here. And I'm just like blown away. I started it, put it down, picked it back up, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Every single person needs to read this because I'm going to go over what those 6 habits are. And I want you to get out a pen, a paper, be ready to write them down, or maybe take your phone and do notes there, wherever you normally do notes. I want you to write these down. But before I go into that, I want to talk to you about what like really drew me to this. Okay. So what he says is, so he starts out by saying like, do you ever like see those people that it just seems like they go from one thing to the next and they're just like a rock star at every single thing they do, like everything they touch turns to gold, and you're just like, how? Like, what do you have that I don't have? Or why did God give you all these skills and he gave me none? You know, like what's going on here? Like, why can't I be more like so-and-so? You start playing this comparison game, or you start idolizing people that are quote unquote better than you, right? So what I loved what he said is, this is how he starts his book, is high performance isn't a natural strength. It's not something that people are necessarily born with. It's not a gift that we necessarily are given or have. It's the result of a very specific set of habits. And these high performers, they have these this specific set of habits. So it's habitual. These things that they do them every single day. And then if they're a very high performer, high achiever, they're doing them multiple times a day. And that's it. That's the only thing that sets these high performers ahead of the people that might not be at that performance level. And what like really struck me there was anybody can be a high performer. Anybody, like literally anybody, you guys. So if you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut, or if you're looking left and you're looking right and you're like, well, that girl enrolled the same month as me and she's diamond and I haven't enrolled at all, or like whatever, like maybe you are doing this comparison thing, understand that she just is completing these habits every single day, maybe multiple times, she or he. And so that's what I loved. Like, if you're feeling like you're not performing that the best that you possibly can, you have the opportunity to change that. You can change that. So I love what he said here. He said, some people master these habits on purpose. So that's what we're all going to do. I'm about to tell you what these 6 habits are. We're going to write them down and we're going to master them. Some people master them on purpose, and other people master them on accident through necessity. And I love that because, I mean, not everyone's read this book. Not everyone's taken these notes, but they're still high performers. You know what I mean? So the reason that they're high performers is possibly out of necessity, because something happened in their life where they realized, I got to step up. I got to show up. I got to do this. I got to take care of this. And so naturally, they started doing these habits without even really knowing that they were. And so if you know anybody that's a high performer, you see them excelling at all these things, but they don't necessarily even know they are, it's typically because they had to figure this out through necessity. So they figured it out on accident, basically, which I love that. So go ahead and get your pen and paper out. We're going to go through the things. I was jotting them down during our newbie training, so I might, I forgot to write down number 6, so I'll have to go back to my notes on my phone for that one. But what I noticed is a lot of these habits are things that we already do, you guys. If you've been in this business for a while, a lot of these habits, you're going to be like, oh, we already do that. It's this, you know what I mean? So you'll probably catch on to that too. But I just thought that was really cool because it just shows that, like, when we get this key performance indicator, for example, this new kind of tracker thing that we've been doing. If you're new, don't stress out too much about it. We'll go over it. But if you've been in the business for a few months, you're like, yep, the tracker that tells me the things I should be doing every day. It's not like she just, Amber Parker, Ambassador Diamond, it's not like she just pulled this out of thin air and was like, these sound like some cool things to do. No, they're like the habits that we should be doing every single day. So number 1 is seeking clarity. Seek clarity is number 1. Who do you want to be? How do you want to be interacting with others? What will bring meaning into your life? It's just taking a minute or 30 minutes or an hour, or maybe, I don't know how long it's going to take you, but you need to seek clarity. So be very, very intentional about this and start thinking about the person that you want to be. Who are you now? Who do you want to be? How do you want to be interacting with others? So maybe this means what is your personal brand going to be today? And they talked about this on not today. What is your personal brand going to be? And they talked about it today on the training this morning for the boot camp that they're doing, where it's creating your brand. It Works Corporate has a brand, but that's not your brand. Your job is to sell yourself. So how are you selling yourself? How do you want to be interacting with others? I might not be interacting with the same people that Rochelle, Brittany, Christina, and Rochelle I already said Rochelle. I don't know. I'm like just saying names now at this point, but like I might not be interacting with the same people as them because we might not necessarily have the same interests or the same things that are important to us. So what are those things that are important to you? Who are those people that you want to be interacting with? And then what will bring meaning into your life? And that one's like kind of deep, you guys. So take some time. Like you don't have to figure it out right now. Like I want you to be very intentional about this. I want you to seek clarity. Clarity is like a big word. You need to be very clear about these things. So write those questions down and maybe answer them later. Okay, so the number two high performance habit is generating energy. So this is how you're going to care for your mental and your physical well-being and how you're going to bring positive emotions into your work. And so this to me equates to self-development or personal development, right? And some of that might mean exercise. Like a lot of times when I think personal development, I automatically think reading. I automatically think like, what book am I going to grow with, right? But personal development, if I could say it, really means so much more than that. It like all the things that are covered in like the Morning Miracle, that's all personal development. Anything that's making you grow as a person, whether it's physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all the things, that is growth. And we want you to grow, you guys. And so exercising, eating right, drinking enough water every single day, telling yourself who you are, AKA affirmations, who you want to be, having a gratitude journal, writing down the things that you're grateful for. You know, maybe it's quiet time or meditation in the morning, like whatever these things are that are going to help you grow, that's what he's talking about here. What are the things that are going to generate energy mentally and physically for your well-being? And what are the things that are going to bring positive emotions to your work? And so we just talked about this in the newbie training, like starting your day with this, because this is going to bring positive energy and emotions to your entire day. So if you have a customer coming at you at 11 a.m., like, I haven't received my product yet, or the supplement's not working for me, or I've only done 2 days of my supplement and I'm already getting my second shipment taken out. Like whatever these negative things are that are coming at you, maybe it's a teammate, maybe it's a negative family member, maybe it's a like nasty post, like whatever it is, you're going to be able to handle it with grace because you took time to do that, to generate that positive energy for yourself in the morning and the positive emotions. So important. Self-development. Number two, it's actually called generate energy. That's what he calls it in the book, but it's self-development, you guys. It's self-development. So moving right along. Number three, which by the way, I am not looking at the chats at all. So doesn't look like there's a lot going on here. You guys were just posting the book. Awesome. Okay. So number three is raise necessity. And this is tapping in to the reasons that you need to perform well. And so what did I automatically think of? My why. My why is what motivates me to perform well. So if you haven't taken time, if you're newish, if you haven't taken time to determine what your why is, or if you've been in the business for a while and your why has shifted, maybe you've achieved the goals that you first set out for. For me, when I first got started, I wanted to make an extra $500. I wanted to have money to help with the bills, but more so to be able to go to Target and get my nails done and go to girls' nights without feeling guilty about spending money. So that was my why. Well, better believe 6 years later, 3 kids later, a house later, like all the things later, my why has changed very, 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 very much. And it has continued to change throughout those 6 years. I wanted to bring my husband home. I brought him home. We're a full-time family. So now my whys need to change. My why needs to become something greater. Like, what's my next goal? Where do I, what's going to make me achieve well? If you don't have one, you won't, because you have to, I forget the like analogy or whatever it is, but like in the Bible, it says without vision, you'll perish. We have to have a vision. We have to see what's next. So if you don't know what's next, you're never going to get there. You're never going to get there. You have to see it to get there. So not only do you need a why, but you need to write your why down. And this is your reminder every single day why you're going to perform well. Because when you wake up and you're tired, you didn't get a great night's sleep, you kind of have a headache, you feel like bloated, you have a text from your mom that's annoying you, a customer wants to return an order, all these things like spiraling. Maybe I'm the only one that spirals, I don't know. But like when you have all these things going on, you can look at your why and it can remind you, like, this is why I need to jump out of bed, brush my teeth, and get the frick to work, to start doing my self-development, first of all, and then to continue on doing the action items. This is why I'm doing it for my kids. I'm doing it so that my husband can stay home with my kids and that we can homeschool our kids together. I'm doing it so that I can give back in ways that I never thought I could. Like, whatever your why is, maybe you just want to go on a family vacation this year, which, like, I'm praying for you if that's your why because of COVID, but like whatever your why is, it doesn't matter. Your why isn't my why. So figure out what it is that's going to drive you on the hard days, on the good days, all the days. What is it that's going to move you forward? You have to have this vision. Okay. Just want to make sure that I didn't skip anything. Okay. So I see people at, yep, Kelsey's putting it in there. Number 1 is seeking clarity. Number 2 is, he actually calls it generate energy, but we call it personal development. And number 3 is raising necessity, which we call determining your why. So number 4, and this is the actual action that takes place, okay? So number 4 is increase productivity. So you have to focus on the highest leverage action items where you can create the highest impact. And I know that's just a lot of words. And if you're like me, you got to hear it 3 times for it to process. I'm a slow processor. So increase your productivity. Focus on the highest leverage action items where you can create the highest impact. What this means is, what are your income producing activities? You can spend all day and night organizing your potentials, organizing your office, writing on your whiteboard, and then erasing it because the line starts to go this way instead of straight across. Like, you guys, this is me. Like, I'm just telling you my crazy psychotic self. Like, these are things that I do. Like, you can waste time. I'm just going to say it as it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You can waste time all day and feel like you were productive because you were doing things for your business. You were like buying a album or whatever, a binder, and printing out all the products and hole punching them, hand hole punching one by one and putting them in and highlighting the good stuff. Like, you guys, that's not how you're going to make money. That's not how you're going to increase your paycheck. That's not how you're going to help others. That's not, like, it's not, you guys. So Danielle said, me so bad. Thank you. Sometimes I need to feel like I'm like not the only crazy person in town on this team. But you guys can give me an amen. But no, I'm just kidding. I truly have wasted so much time in this business. And so I'm just speaking from the heart, speaking truth here, because I know I'm not the only one. So the income producing activities, this is following up. This is sending out the host to post messages. But beyond that, it's responding to them, you guys, because there's too many people out there that we went through this whole host to post training as corporate, as a company wide thing. The last 2 to 3 months, we've been like coaching host to post, like get 10 host to post up every single day. That's our goal. That is your goal, 10 host to post. And, you know, even if you don't get the 10, you push so hard for the 10 that you'll get 15 the next day. You know what I mean? Like that is our goal, right? And I love that goal. It's a great goal to have. But this is me again, just speaking truth. I push so hard to like reach the goal and check it off the list that I forget the next step, which is the more important step of now that I have the 10 up, I need to make sure that I'm going back to the post and I'm responding to the people that have commented and I'm working those conversations. And when it is all said and done, I'm sealing the deal. So you can always reach that goal of host to post, but if you're not sealing the deal, then it was wasted. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying every host to post you're going to sign 1 million customers, you're going to sign a distributor. You're not. Some you're going to get crickets. But the point of what I'm trying to say is make sure you carry it all the way through. It's not just getting host to post up. That's where I feel like myself and a lot of people on this team get hung up. We check off the box because we got the host to post up, but that's the host to post getting up is not where you're going to make the money. You know what I'm saying? So, what are the income producing activities that you can be doing? Getting the host to post up, but making sure you're carrying all the way through, messaging people about the business. I think you'd be so good at what I do. I've been seeing your pictures the last few months or whatever, and I just think you'd be amazing at this. Have you ever thought about making extra income from home? Messaging people, following through with that conversation. Following up. We have to be following up, you guys. That is an income producing activity because most people do not purchase a product or join your team on the first shot, second shot, third shot. Like you have to be following up. These are all income producing activities. So there's other things that we do that are important, but they're not necessarily income producing activities. Posting, not an income producing activity. Like, surprise, I don't know if you thought that you were making money when you put that post up, but you're not, you guys. That post is your open sign. It's showing people that you're open for business, and it's helping people relate to you and follow along in your journey so that when they do see you talking about the product or they do see you talking about the opportunity at the time that they need it the most, they're going to reach out to you. Or when you reach out to them, because we reach out to people, we message people, they're going to be ready because they've been following your journey. That's what posting is. Posting is very, very important, and it should be done every single day because we want people, that's our brand, but it's not, we're not getting a paycheck from posting. If you did nothing and only posted, you would not be successful in this business. You cannot just post in this business. You guys following me? Somebody drop me some love in the chats. I need to make sure that you guys are following me here and I'm not just talking to myself. So these are income producing activities, so important. So that's what he calls number 4 is increase productivity. And so what my mind automatically went to is our 6 list and our key performance indicator. So like I said, not everything on this key performance indicator, which by the way, you can find this in the files tab of the team page. It's either called key performance indicators or KPI. I can't remember how it's labeled, but this is a checklist. If you are someone that physically needs the like, did it, that's me. I need that like paper in front of me to like keep me focused. I've been doing this business for 6 years, and on my whiteboard, I still have my 6 list because I need it right there to remind me like, come on, Shelby, here you go. Like, this is next, get through it. So do these things every single day. Habits, you guys, making these things habitual, making these things every single day to where you do them out of habit every single day. So make sure that you get that key performance indicator sheet if you're the type of person that needs a checklist. We also call it our 6 list. It's just the things that we do. You might even hear it referred to as the core 4, because some people have boiled the 6 things down into 4. You guys, whatever it's called, maybe you made up your own whatever, like that's fine. Just make sure you're doing the things, okay? That's it. Increase your productivity. Be intentional with your time. If you are on your phone, I'm just going to say this. This wasn't in the book. This is a little gift from me to you. But if you find that you're on your phone 12 hours a day, then you are not doing this business right. Okay? This business truly is meant to be in the nooks and crannies of your day. What I like to say, so that I'm being completely honest with my girls as they join and throughout their journey, is you need to be able to commit 1 hour a day to this business. It can be split up. So if it's 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, then cool. But you need to be able to dedicate 1 hour to this business. And then there might be like 15-minute spurts where you're like responding to people, reaching out to people, shooting off some quick haps, whatever. But that 1 hour is super important to complete that 6 list, to complete those key performance indicators, to complete the things that we do every single day. You have to dedicate an hour. Self-development goes in there, like dedicate an hour to your business. Or if you want to go quicker, faster, if you want to go higher, faster, and by higher I mean through the ranks, then dedicate 2 hours, dedicate 3 hours. You know what I mean? But you should never have to be working round the clock 12 hours a day. You join this business for freedom of time, not to be a slave to your phone. Okay, so note that, right? You guys got that? All right, moving on, because I think you guys have the idea that you're going to need to increase your productivity. You need to be intentional with your time, and you need to make sure that you're focusing on the income producing activities. If you are the type of person that needs a binder and print out everything, then that's on your own time, girlfriend. Like that doesn't count. That doesn't count as your time working this business. So number 5 is, and this is where I started to get cut off because our meeting ended, so I want to make sure I give you guys all the goods. So number 5 is develop influence. So he says this is connecting with others to influence them and to support your efforts and your projects. This is building trust with others to enable collaboration towards the joint goal. So to me, developing influence is that's what we do, you guys. I don't know if you know, but we are influencers. We are paid influencers, which is crazy because you probably see a lot of girls on your Instagram who like might even say influencer in their bio, honestly, but they're not getting paid for it. Or maybe they are getting paid for it, but did you know, this is real, you guys, this is a fact that I learned, that the YouTubers and the influencers on Instagram, and this isn't everybody, this is not like a blanketed statement, but most of the people on there that are influencers are making like pennies to every post that they make for a brand. So this might just be me, and again, my head is twisted, but like sometimes I see these girls on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they look so perfect, and oh my gosh, Target maybe not Target, but like whatever company, like Downy dish soap, wanted to sponsor them. Like, oh my gosh, they are just so cool, so great. Well, they're posting this and they're literally making pennies for posting it, you guys. So here's what's cool about us. We're doing the same thing as them, except we are sharing our health, wellness, beauty products with the world, and we are making way more money than they are. Way more. So the next time you see an influencer and you're just like, oh my gosh, they are everything. What's that? All that in a bag of chips? You newbies, or not newbies, but you youngins might have never heard that one. But if next time you're like, I see Emily smiling because she's probably like, wow, are you 80 years old lady, but no. Next time you look at these influencers like they're these idols, I don't like to use the word idols, but you know, like next time you really look up to them and you're like, wow, remember that you have the opportunity to make so much more money than they do. So much more. So I don't even know how I got onto that. Oh yeah, so we're talking about developing influence. This is all about your brand again, you guys. Branding yourself. What are the things that make you you? And we talked about this in the newbie training. Like, don't immediately go put like it works distributor on all your bios. You know, I did that in the beginning. That's not what you want to do, because you want people to be curious about what you're doing. You want them to reach out to you. So in your bio, it should say the things that make you who you are. Okay, so for me, I'm a believer. I love God. I love my husband. I love my kids. I love red wine. You'll always see me with red wine on these meetings. So cheers. I love tacos. You know, like I have a few things that make me who I am. My boys are twins, so that's like a big thing that I like to talk about. I have a little baby girl, so now I'm talking to the twin moms, I'm talking to the boy moms, I'm talking to the girl moms, I'm talking to the beau moms, I'm talking to the boutique moms. Like I can really like branch it out. If you're like, okay, cool, I don't have any kids, that's okay. Like what makes you you, and how can you have an influence on those people? How can you be influential to them? Okay, so think about those things for real. Like take time to write down like what makes you you. And that's a good place to start when you start to go follow people and friend request people. Like, why am I friend requesting her? Well, one, she looks about my age. Two, she has her cute daughter in the picture. Three, her last post was about wine. Like, hello, we are meant to be best friends. I'm gonna go send her a friend request. And then the like thing that ties it all together here is when she is like, Shelby Sutton, like I don't know her, like why is she friend requesting me? She's gonna go look at my profile real quick, and she's gonna be like, she's got a daughter, because it's right there in my profile picture right now. She's going to see my bio. She's going to see that I'm a mom. She's going to see, you know, she's going to see the things about me, and she's going to be like, oh yeah, she's cool. I like her. She's kind of like me. I'm going to accept this. Do you guys see the connection here? You see how it's like a full circle? So find the things that make you you. If you're in college, don't go try to follow a bunch of like 30-year-old moms. I'm not saying you might not ever enroll someone older than you or younger than you. I just enrolled the like most gorgeous 18-year-old that literally graduated from high school the day she enrolled. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying you're more likely to relate with someone who is like you, whatever that means, you know? So find ways that you connect with people and how you can be influential to them and develop that influence. Okay, number 6 is demonstrating courage. If someone wants to put that in the chats, I see that Kelsey has been my note taker. I appreciate that, girl. So number 6 is demonstrate courage. Advocate for your ideas. Take bold action. Stand up for yourself and for others. And so this one's just amazing in itself, because courage, I think, is really important in general. And we're not always, you know, especially, I think I'm talking to like newbies a lot here in this one. It's difficult to have that courage. Like you were courageous as it was, just jumping in and taking this leap of faith. So now here you are, and we're asking you to have courage and have confidence and have influence, you know, do all these things, do self-development. I said it, I know I keep referring back to the newbie call, but I was like, how many of you knew when you signed up for this business, I was going to ask you to go read a book? Like no one expects that when they start in this business, but it really is the number one thing. Which, side note, if any of you aren't reading a book, you need to go get one, whether you're 1 day in, 1 year in, 10 years in. We always need to be growing. Go get yourself a book. If you don't have an idea of what to get, ask the person that enrolled you, check the team page, message me. You need to get yourself a book. but demonstrating courage and advocating for your ideas, taking bold action, standing up for yourself and for others. So I think that that one's just a really great way to round it all out and finish it all out. But these are really just like great highlights to how you can be that high achiever. And so you might have like heard me say these things and you're like, well, yeah, I already do some of those. And that's great. I do most of these regularly, but I still feel like I'm not at the level that I want to be at. There's still growth that needs to be done. There's still influence that needs to be made. There's still growth that needs to happen. There's still some like dedication, grit, determination as far as the income producing activities that I can be doing every single day. You guys think just because I'm a presidential diamond and I've been in this business for 6 years that I don't get stuck in the scroll hole? No, I do get stuck in the scroll hole, and I need to make a conscious decision to get out of that. And if you're like, what is that? It's where you think you're working, and then an hour later you realize you just watched 200 TikTok videos and got absolutely nothing done. Like TikTok is my new like scroll hole purgatory. Like it's just not good. So if that's you, make sure that you have some kind of like trigger to like get you out of that, to where you can be like, I just scrolled through like this girl that I went to high school's Facebook page for 24 minutes. When did you know that you could have probably messaged 40 to 50 people in those 25 minutes? So just keep that in mind, that when you are on your phone, you are intentional. And I will just add really quick that a lot of people, I know that you use your phone to unwind. I often use my phone to unwind. I really like Instagram. Sometimes I like going and looking at people that I don't even necessarily follow. So same way that I try to be an influence to others, there's people that are an influence on me, and I like to unwind by just going and watching them. But that doesn't count as work, you guys. You cannot count that as work just because you were on your phone. You know what I mean? And so if using your phone to unwind, whether it's watching TikTok videos or Instagram stories or following your favorite blogger, or maybe it's browsing through Pinterest trying to decide what you want your like fantasy wedding to look like whatever it is, these are all okay. I'm not saying don't do this. I'm just saying make sure that you're doing it in your own like spare time, if you have the luxury of having spare time. But before you do those things, make sure that your work for the day has already been done. And I'll never forget a top income earner in this business. She's been a top income earner since when I first got started. She said that the thing that she loves is Pinterest. She loves just scrolling through Pinterest, getting ideas for this and for that. And she's like, but I have challenged myself she just makes sure that she okay, this is what it is. I was trying to think of the right words. She uses Pinterest as a reward. She knows she loves it. She knows that's where she wants to spend some of her time before she goes to sleep. And so she says that she doesn't allow herself to go on Pinterest until she's done her income producing activities, until she's completed her 6 list. Maybe she has a big goal, like until I've signed 2 loyal customers today, I'm not going on Pinterest. And I love that idea of using it as a reward. So what is that for you? You know, so like take some time to think about it. Like what's your reward? What's the thing that you want to be doing, but that you can hold off from doing until you make sure that you have the other things done? For me, it's sleeping. I want to go to sleep. I want to be asleep all the time, 24/7. Every day, the thought goes through my head that I just want to sleep for like 3 to 5 days straight. I'm not kidding. This is like the 4th time that I've had to tell you guys that I'm messed up in the head. So just, I am. Okay. Now, you know for sure. I love to sleep. I want to sleep all the time, all the time, all the time. So for me, I know I'm not allowed to lay my head down to go to sleep at night until I've done the things. And sometimes that means I get to go to bed at a reasonable hour. Sometimes that means I'm not going to bed till 1 a.m. So like today, for example, Wednesdays, I know that I have my team meeting. And I want to, trust me, I want to be here with you guys. I love this team meeting more than life. Like it brings me so much energy and joy and just all the things to be here seeing your faces. And that's why I love your cameras on if you're able to have them on. But I know that this is a non-negotiable thing that I do every single Wednesday, and I know I'm not going to be able to be on my phone working. And so if I got through my whole day and it was chaotic and the boys want to take a nap and Charlie's teething and whatever, like I had a meeting with my new girls, like whatever it is, and I didn't get through my 6 list today, then I know when I get off with you girls in a few minutes, that's what I have to do. Or I don't get to lay my head down on my pillow. It doesn't happen because I am so focused on making sure that this is something that happens every single day. It's habitual. It's a habit. It's a habit. It's a habit. It's a habit. You have to make this a habit every single day, you guys, to be that high performer. Okay. So hopefully you get that. And a habit takes time. What do they say? I'll mess this up for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's like 21 days to create a habit. You have to do something every single day for 21 days to create that habit. So if you're like, well, you know, I did my 6 list on Monday, but it's been a little sketchy since then, you need to start today. You need to start tonight. And then tomorrow, and then the next day, and get that 21 days in of doing these things every single day to truly create that habit. And if you slip up one day, start again. You guys, never think that because you slipped up one day and you didn't get whatever done, that like you're just a failure and you're not going to be able to get it done. You guys, we all start somewhere. Maybe you've been in the business for a while and you feel like you've been stuck in a rut or in this funk. Guess what? If you're in a funk, there's a good chance that you are not doing the things. I just call them the things because most of you guys know what that means. But there's a good chance that you're not completing your six list every single day. And so I actually had a conversation with a distributor last night and this morning where she was like, no one's enrolling. Like I did so good in my first 2 months and like no one's enrolling anymore. And I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Let me go look at your Facebook. She hadn't posted anything since July 27th. And it's now August, this was yesterday, so August 3rd. And I was like, well, does anyone even know you're still in the business? Like you haven't posted in weeks. When was the last time you messaged somebody? When was the last time you asked someone to put a host to post up? When was the last time, when was the last time that you worked your business? You don't accidentally succeed in this business, you guys. That's not going to happen. This business takes hard work. It does. So if your enroller told you this was like not hard work, I'm just here to tell you like, oops, sorry, they told you the wrong thing, because this is hard work. It's simple. It's very, very simple work. Like, wouldn't you rather be doing this than doing this and making money than literally almost anything else? Like I actually can't think of anything that I would rather make money doing other than sleeping, but we all know that's not a thing. So this is a very simple business, but you have to work hard at it, and you have to be very, very mindful of these habits and of these 6 lists and doing them every single day. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit at this point, but I do feel like it's so important that you guys understand this, because it doesn't matter if you're new. It doesn't matter if you've been in for a few months. It doesn't matter if you're one of my OGs and you've been with me since the beginning. We all need this reminder, I think. We all need this reminder that you have to be doing these things every single day. And Kelsey just brought up a great point in the chats where she said school is stressing her out. She's a teacher. She's getting ready to go back to school. And in case you've been living under a rock for all of 2020, we're in like a really weird time right now where teachers going back to school is not the norm. Like they're having to totally change it up and do things they've never had to do anymore. And she is no different than anyone else on here. Like, we're all going through a different change right now. Maybe you're pregnant and you're about to bust like Rochelle. Maybe you just had a baby. I see a little adorable baby butt in Christina's camera view. Maybe you just got a new 9-to-5 job. Maybe you just lost your job. Maybe you're a mom who's been sending her kids to school for the last couple of years and, oh, surprise, now you're a homeschooling mom. Like, we're all going. Maybe you're like me and you're getting ready to move in a couple of weeks. Like, we're always going to be going through changes and different things. And so we can't use these things as excuses not to show up, because the second you slack off, it's going to start to become a backslide and you're going to get discouraged. And so back to my lady that I was talking about earlier, that's like, I haven't been enrolling. Like, I was doing so well. I don't know what's going on. Well, one, she hadn't been posting. Two, she stopped sending friend requests because it didn't seem like anyone was friend requesting her back or accepting or whatever. And three, she wasn't messaging because she wasn't getting a lot of replies back. And I was like, well, I don't think any of that is true, because when you were doing those things, you were enrolling. And now you're not doing those things and you aren't enrolling. And so what's the common, whatever that word is here, the common thread here, like, what's changed? What's changed to why you're not enrolling? You stop doing the things. So just keep doing the things, you guys. You have to keep doing them. You have to stay consistent with it. Okay. So hopefully you guys, I pray and pray that these 6 things, you wrote them down, and that you will start working on these things. That if you don't already have a key performance indicator checklist, or whatever you do to make sure that you're completing your things every single day, whatever that is, I want to really, really challenge you this month and through the next several months. If you've been in this business for a year or more, I'm about to say something that you're going to be like, here we go again. But although we are continuing to still breathe some very, very, very rare air right now, like, momentum all the way into August is unheard of, you guys. You know how we always say, like, not always, you know how we've been saying, we're in unprecedented times right now, like 2020, like all the garbage that's going on. Y'all, we are in unprecedented times with It Works Global right now. Like, momentum all the way into August is insane. So keep the momentum flowing, but this is where all my girls that have been in for at least a year are gonna laugh. We are getting ready to go into seed planting season. That doesn't mean that enrollments have to slow down. That doesn't mean that momentum has to go away. What it means is right now we need to be planting the seeds so that God can grow the trees. We got to plant the seeds so God can grow the trees. He's the fertilizer. Trees grow, but the seeds have to be planted. We have to be talking to people. We have to be asking people to do host to post for us. Every single conversation that we have, I'm like pounding the table over here, you guys. I'm like all hyped up. I don't know what's going on. But every conversation that we have, we need to be asking them if they've ever thought about doing the business. You want the hair, skin, and nails? Let me have your information. Thank you for your information. Before I put it in, have you ever thought about making extra money from home? We can get you started as a distributor tonight and get you the hair, skin, and nails. Like, every single conversation should be, have you thought about making extra money? Plant the seeds, because not everybody's going to say yes. In fact, most people probably aren't going to say yes. But what you're doing is you're planting a little seed in their head. You're asking them, have you ever thought about this? And they're like, oh, not really. I really just want to grow out my hair and my lashes. Well, they're going to fall in love with the product. And in 2-3 months, they're going to be ready. Or maybe it takes longer than that to be ready, but you've planted that seed. So you guys, we're rolling into seed planting season. So make sure you are planting, okay? And when our typical harvest, which is normally like January, February, March, April, like those are our typical harvesting months. When those come around in 2021, I feel like it's just going to be like the biggest, most beautiful harvest we've ever seen, because we are still in harvest right now in August. And now we're planting the seeds. So we're going to continue to see the harvest throughout the year, but we're also planting the seeds so that that harvest can continue. Hopefully this analogy didn't get like way overblown and you're like, okay, enough with the trees, lady. Like, let's move on here. But you guys, now is the time to stick with the momentum that we have, but to be preparing for the crops of 2021. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to end it here, unless I know Rochelle had to jump off and put Hunt to bed. Ash, do you have anything that you'd like to add just to wrap it up, or we can let everybody go early so that they can make sure they finish their 6 list?
Okay, all I'll say to end it, because that was amazing, is I was thinking this whenever you're talking about how this business is hard work, and you know, all that, and here's the thing. I feel like this is hard because we don't have a boss, where we don't have to go somewhere and have like a task list that we have to do in order to get paid. That's, to me, that's the hard part. And that's what I feel like the last 10 minutes of this call was about, is basically you have to hold yourself accountable. And for a lot of us, we've never done that before. We've, starting in kindergarten all the way through high school and then even college, you're told what to do and you do it and you turn it in and you get your grade. Whereas, and then in a career, most of us have either had a boss or a manager or whatever telling you what you have to do every day. And then you step into something like this, where the reason most of us join is, of course, the money, but also the freedom, because some of us want to go to college without having a job. Some of us want to be home with our kids. Whatever reason is, freedom is usually a part of that. But that's also the hardest part, I think. And so that's where the whole holding yourself accountable, self-development, knowing your why, it kind of all ties into that. And that's how you get your 6 lists done. Like Shelby, like she said, at the end of this Zoom, if she hasn't done her 6 list, she's going to do it before she goes to bed. Nobody's telling her that. She doesn't have somebody messaging her saying like, hey, if you don't do this, you're not getting your commission check. She has to hold herself accountable. And then the last thing I'll say is, going back to earlier when she said, if you're spending 12 hours a day on your phone, you're not working this right. I am such a perfect example of that. And I'm definitely somebody who falls into all those rabbit holes I'm in right now. That's also part of holding yourself accountable, though. Like, I know that, okay, if I want to read what's going on with this, or this, I need to send out this many messages and get this many hops up first. Just like she said, it's kind of like a reward. I don't spend my whole day in a rabbit hole, though, guys. I promise. I'm just saying, like, you just have to be self-aware. And if you can get that part, if you can be self-aware and hold yourself accountable, everything else will fall into place. Because you guys, whether you're brand new or you've been in this however long, you all know what the 6 list is. There's so many resources. If you don't know what the 6 list is available to you, that's not hard. Nobody is going to pick up their phone to follow people on Instagram and think how incredibly hard this is, so that's all. Shelby, I feel like this was like such an amazing Zoom, and I'm so happy it was recorded, because I think we all need to go back and watch this again at some point, because I know I will.